Hi, this is Kedra, and I am back with a quick tax tip. This is continuing the series on going through the IRS's website. What tools and resources are available? And they are numerous. I get a ton of calls from people who want to know how to set up an installment agreement. Well, you have multiple ways to do that. Today, we're going to talk about how you can do an online installment agreement right through the IRS's website. So in most cases, these are people who owe less than $50,000 to the IRS, and they can come out here and get that installment agreement set up pretty straightforward. So if you go to pay, then you can see here when you, from the IRS home screen, this is from irs.gov. Sorry, didn't say that. I just assume everybody knows, but if you don't, irs.gov, G-O-V. And then you'll come out to paying your taxes. And here you can see you have several options at the top. And in the lower right corner, can't pay now. So if you can't pay your the amount you owe right now, then you can come out and you can select the blue link that says payment plan. And it takes you right to the individual payment plan information screen. So apply online for a payment plan. And you can go down here and read these. Do you qualify? These are the terms. This tells you, do you qualify? And actually, let me just update that. Short-term payment plan if you owe less than $100,000. So if you owe less than $100,000 and you want to pay in a short term. Now, a short-term payment plan is not, it's also called an extension to pay. So that's a situation where you can pay the balance off in less than 4 months. So if you can do that in less than 4 months and you owe up to $100,000, you can also set that up out here. So when clients come to me and they're able to pay it in 4 months, or if I'm filing a tax return and excuse me, believe it or not, I do have clients that owe 6 figures at the end of the tax year. So I guess this wouldn't apply to them. But that if you're, 60, 70,000 at the time that you file that return, you can actually come out here and set up a 4-month extension to pay. And I tell my clients that all the time. They can come out here and do that. And that way you don't have to hire me as a representative to get on your account, to contact the IRS to get that set up for you. So they've set this up so that it can be done directly out here. So talks about how, if you qualify, and of course under 50,000 if you want a longer term installment agreement, which in some cases can go up to 84 months. So that gives you a little bit of time. Keep in mind when you do the installment agreement, you are interest is continuing to accrue, and penalties for non-payment are continuing. So you want to make sure that if you can pay that, you want to pay it. If you can borrow at a lower interest rate with a bank or a credit union, you want to do that and pay the balance. The IRS is kind of the last resort as far as financing. Well, I guess they beat like payday loan financing, but other than that, they don't beat many bank financing if that's an option for you. And then it tells you what you need to apply for the payment plan. It goes over that, which is your basic information. The same validation system is used. They're going to verify your address. They're going to verify some kind of credit card or bank account that you have in your name. And then you need to have a mobile phone in your name so that you can receive the necessary codes. And then it talks about the setup fees for payment plans. If you owe the IRS and you don't want your bank account levied, you're not worried about those setup fees. But in most cases, if you they're usually $104, $123. They're different rates depending on the type of plan. However, if you do it online yourself, then in most cases that fee is waived. So you'll see, I'm sorry, I went really quickly here, but you'll see you have a 0 setup fee if you do it. If you do a longer term, the fee for doing it online is $31, and if you meet certain low income qualifications, then that fee is also waived. So it talks about setting up the plan, and you don't pay that when you set it up. It just gets added into the balance due. So with your first payment, that fee comes out. And then it goes into some other information to do that. But if you want to apply you would just click for yourself, you just click apply or revise as an individual. There's another link there to apply as power of attorney. And so typically as power of attorney, if we were going out to do that and set that up for you, then we could use that system. Me personally, I don't necessarily use that system because most of my clients don't fit within that category. But if there's a client that I'm helping out and for whatever reason they don't have a computer or they're not comfortable with computers or they just want me to do it, then I will offer that service to go out and get that online installment agreement set up for them. And right as you go through the process, I can't actually go through it here to log in because I'm not setting up an installment agreement. But when you actually go through and do that, I am so sorry. I got an alarm going off. Sorry about that, guys. That's what happens when you do live recording. So, and I'm not great at editing, so not sure that that's going to be gone when this video goes out there. But when you go through, you're just going to validate your information, verify your information. It's going to actually tell you the balance that you owe, the total balance that you owe, and then it's going to tell you ask you the amount you want to pay each month, and it will also tell you the minimum amount that it will accept in a payment each month. Again, interest and penalties continue to accrue, so you want to make the largest payment amount that you can so that you can pay it off sooner rather than later. And then once you're on that installment agreement, oftentimes, and I tell my clients, sometimes the strategy is to get on the installment agreement so that you don't have to, keep peeking over your shoulder at your bank account worrying whether you're going to get levied or have liens necessarily go out. Now, in certain cases, if it's over $25,000 and you set up an installment agreement, you're still going to get those liens put out there, which just lets creditors know that you owe the IRS. It does go on your credit report and all of that information. However, if it's under $50,000 that you owe and you set this up and there are no liens already out there and you set it up as a direct debit, then the IRS is not required to file liens. And so that's a way that you can avoid having the liens out there. So they're just going to debit your bank account every month. And then you get that, you get that paid off and you don't have to, worry about any of that. But sometimes, like I was saying, it's a strategy to get on an installment agreement because you need a little bit of time. And so that's okay to do that and start making those payments. And then if you're expecting a lump sum or some type of settlement or bonus or a tax refund or well, it won't be a tax refund because if you owe, they're going to keep that. So not that, but some other refund, maybe a state refund that's coming or something like that. Then you can actually, when that lump sum payment comes in, you've been making your payments on time each month. That payment comes in, you just pay that. Okay, so then it's just a very short-term situation, but it just gives you peace of mind. And again, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are options if you know that you're going to have a lump sum payment come in within the next 4 months, then I would just come out here and set up a short-term installment plan or a short-term payment plan, which is also called an extension to pay, which gives you 120 days to pay that balance off in full. And you're not required to make payments every month on a 120-day extension to pay. So as long as at the end of that 120 days, you pay it off. Interest and penalties continue to accrue. So that's, that doesn't change, but at least it's done. So this is the end of the quick video. My name is Kedra Flowers. You can come visit me at kedraflowers.com. You can also hit me up with comments down below this video or any of my other videos. I do try to respond to all my comments. At this point, I do respond to all my comments, all 3 of them, but And that's a joke. Hopefully by the time you watch this video, it'll be 3,000, and I just maybe can't respond to all of them, but I definitely try. And if I have to hire people to help me respond, then we'll just have to do that. That'd be a good problem to have. So anyway, I do offer one-on-one consultations, video consultations. So if you need that, please definitely come see me, hit me in the comments, send me an email. And I guess that's it. Like, share, and subscribe. Happy taxes. Bye-bye.